On this episode of Playlog, we're playing some of the biggest games of the last week, Wanderstop and Split Fiction. On this episode of Playlog, we're reviewing Wanderstop and Split Fiction and a bunch of other shit. But I didn't have to do that because there's no timestamps. I didn't have to do that part. That was so irrelevant for that. Anyway, hey everybody, CGDannyB back again with another episode of Playlog, the podcast where we talk all things indie gaming. But of course, I can't talk any games alone because that's boring. So I've got my partner in crime, the Play Nice Kid themselves, Tofr. What's poppin', homie?
I am doing okay. I'm like I'm having a calmer week.
Okay.
After like the busy period with Next Fest and then a couple of big releases that I wanted to play. So now it's like slightly calmer before we go into the end of the month where things pick up again. So it was good to like have a week to just chill out a bit.
Hell yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, we've been a little bit of busy, just sent a lot of messages, answering some emails. A fun email, I forgot to tell you before, I should tell you about after. I think it'd be really goofy. I opened my email the other morning, and this is such a thing I could talk to you about. I feel like I always want to make TikToks about these, but they're so not relevant to the average consumer. I'm like, I'm sorry guys, this is such a me thing that doesn't make sense. But I opened up my email the other day, 15 review code request forms and everything. I'm like, there's so many fucking games. There's so many games. I'm about to blame them all. I think as the game comes out today as of recording, Rainbreaker, is that out today? Is that out?
It is, yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I have a key for Rainbreaker. I was like, oh cool, bet, sweet. Haven't touched it yet, so it's just been this has been a time. It's been a busy way, but yeah, swimming in codes, I guess is the life.
That's a really tough problem you've got there.
Honestly, it's such a first world problem. I just have too many games to play, and it's like, wow, imagine. But listen, we all have problems we don't understand from each other. We just have to respect each other and respect my problems. Appreciate me. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh, man. But before we get rolling, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. Quick reminder, if you enjoy Fallout and TTRPGs, then boy, do I have the show for you. On Sunday nights, we'll be streaming our new series, Fallout 313. Run by the astonishing LB Hackemup, Fallout 313 is a role-playing adventure game set in the Modiphius system that's all about rolling not one, but two D20s. I'm playing Finn, also Finnegan, Alexander Finnegan is his full name. The very intelligent super mutant who's far too gentle for his own good and just wants to sniff some flowers. We had streamed our premiere episode a few weeks ago. We're a little bit off kilter right now because we had our second session. Our third session got messed up because of the storm, and LB didn't have internet to stream, so we had to skip that. And then this week, they're all at GaryCon, so it's going to be 2 weeks without, so we'll be back on the 30th for episode 3. So anyone who's just like, where'd the episode go? What's happening? That's what's going on. We're a little behind. We're going to get there. Don't worry. The show's not going anywhere. We've all adjusted around Easter for it. We got it. But yes, we have our first couple episodes are available up on the Hack Recklessly YouTube channel, or you can watch them on the Twitch channel. But if you want to catch up, you can do that now because you got plenty of weeks for it. And then you can catch us live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly. That's HACKRECKLESSLY. And then 30th, we'll be back for that. Sorry, I scrambled through a lot of that. Because, hey, it's a fast and loose episode. We're doing weird shit. And then another quick reminder, as part of our podcast, we'll be doing our monthly book club. We go back and replay some indie classics or finally get around to some modern indies that we just haven't played yet. And for the month of March, we'll be playing Celeste. Help Madeline survive her inner demons on her journey to the top of Celeste Mountain. In this super tight platformer from the creators of Towerfall Ascension, brave hundreds of handcrafted challenges, uncover devious secrets, and piece together the mysteries of the mountain. Play the game this week now, because I didn't update that part. On your preferred platform, and head over to our write-in form in the description to give us your thoughts on Celeste for our March 25th episode of Playlog Podcast. You can join us live next week at twitch.tv/CGDannyB for the discussion, or catch the upload just a few days later on youtube.com/CGDannyB. That's the housekeeping. I gotta get back. I gotta finish Celeste. I started it early and then just kind of slowed down a bit. And I think I was trying to pace myself to do the platinum at the same time so I could just beat it in platinum. I'm like, that's going to be too much work. I have to come back to it. So now I need to just blitz through the story and have it ready for next week. But yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, same.
Easy.
I started early and then other games came up and here we are.
Here we are. So many shit, guys. Guys, make less games, please. Come on. A few less games. Just a few. I went to do timestamp. We don't need them. But anyway, we'll hop into the quick indie news where there's not a whole lot to talk about at the moment. However, I should have pulled up this page earlier, but that's fine. We could just ramble a little bit. Yesterday, as of recording, so Monday on the 17th, we had the Mix and Kind of Funny Spring Game Showcase, which I am a huge fan of. I have to fix you because Kanai's tall ass is all fucking up the camera here. I have to fucking adjust this and put this back here. It's all fine. But yeah, I'm a sucker for the Mix. I love what they do, and I'm a sucker for Kind of Funny. I love what they do. So when they work together to put together this hour-ish long showcase of just a bunch of dope indie games that are upcoming or some that are already out or just released, it's always fun to see. Shockingly enough, there were a lot more horror games this time around. And it was fun the whole time to go like, oh, that's a Chris game right there. And chat's like, oh, that's a game Chris would play. I'm like, it is. That's not a very Danny game. Then we get the, oh yeah, that's a Danny game. That's what I'm talking about. Like there's one called Hirogami, which is very like Tearaway like esque, and you play as like a origami hero that can refold yourself into like a gorilla and a paper airplane. I'm like, ooh, wait, this is cool. So yeah, there are a bunch of dope games there. My reaction's up on YouTube if you want to check it out. And then a bunch of the games that they also were in previous showcases are on sale as well for the spring showcase, but as a part of this too. So that was really cool. And then Kind of Funny, they will typically do a live stream where they're in San Francisco, the same place the event, and they'll bring in a bunch of devs like, hey, let's talk about like your game and everything. I started watching it yesterday. I think it was like a 10-ish hour stream. I might be making that number up. But I know they showed off Monster Train 2. They sat down with developers and talked about it. They did building relationships. There's one called... yeah, dude. It was so fun to watch because I didn't know anything about the developer, like, as a person. But they had that very, like... I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I don't want to sound offensive. It's not it at all. But the very gentle, like, Saikuno vibe, you know what I'm talking about, the streamer? Where like they cover their mouth like this when they laugh and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, this is wholesome. I like this vibe. Yeah. And then there were jokes of just like, here, I'm gonna write a bunch of stuff and show it to my friends, and whatever makes you the most uncomfortable, that's what's going in the game. We're about to get horny over a windmill, baby. And I'm like, okay, cool, go. A few other games like the Table Flip Simulator is one that was in there. Yuka Replay was one of the first ones they showed. So yeah, there's a bunch of dope stuff. I need to go back and watch the rest, but it was a fun time. I love the Mix. I love Kind of Funny, and they put some good shit on. So be sure to check out all their content on their respective channels.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Although if you can't find the Mix, try Media Indie Exchange. I know that sometimes social media is weird, but it's out there. Go find it. Yeah. The Mix might not get your results. But that's all I really had for the news. So yeah. How about we go to the topic of the show?
Speed run,
right through it, baby. 20-minute episode. It won't be. Kanai and I's part is already like, I think it's like 40 minutes. So we're good. So these last couple weeks, Tofr and I have been playing through Wanderstop. Great game from Ivy Road. Just released. Oh God, that was
the 11th.
The 11th. Okay, so a week ago as of recording. It is this cozy management game where you're playing as Alta. She is a fighter. She ends up losing a bunch of fights, and then as she's exploring the forest to find this Master Winters, so she can learn some new fighting combat, she finds Boro and the tea shop, and is like, how about you stay here, relax, fix yourself, and we'll go on from there. As we explain what Wanderstop is, Tofr, I'd love to hear your initial thoughts on Wanderstop.
I adored it. I saw plenty of media coverage for the game, and the gist of it seemed to be it's a good game, but it's not a great game. Okay. And I disagree. I think it's a great game. Yeah. As someone who has suffered burnout myself, the game hit home really hard at times. Yeah. Some of the characters and the things that they say to you were just were a little bit too real. Yeah. So but at the same time, this game made me feel seen. Yeah. And understood, because it's clear that like you can't make this game if you haven't gone through burnout yourself. Yeah. There's just too much attention to detail on what happens and what goes through your mind when you suffer from it. To like, yeah, they captured it so brilliantly, and I am in awe of these developers.
Yeah, I had a really good time playing through this game. I had a weird start where I got the preview build, which was basically the intro of the game. You basically play through the first season, and then that's where it stopped. I got my PC review key, where I started again to try and be like, let's try and get it done for like release day, etc. Got to the end of the first season, like, cool, I'm into new territory. Then I got my PlayStation key. I'm like, well, this is the one I want to play. So I started again. So I've played the intro of this game 3 times now, which was around the 3rd time. It got pretty daunting. I just found myself not liking the Demon Hunter anymore. I'm like, I want to skip all of your dialogue. I am so sorry. But I think it's such a, like, this is an experience you get that one time. And I'm like, I don't want to hear this person anymore. But Gerald, every time I'm like, it's Gerald again. Gerald's back. I want to talk to Gerald about their thing. Love Gerald. But no, like, I didn't fully know what to expect when I got my preview key, right? Of like, what is this game going to be? And it is the freedom of, here's what you have to do. Although Bora is very much like, you don't really have to do anything. You're given a lot of freedom with your time in this game, where someone will come up to you and like, hey, I want this type of tea. You can open the manual right away, figure out what ingredients you have that can make them perfect. This one needs to taste like ice cream. There's the fruit for that. I just have to grow it and whatever. I want it to be dirty. There's a way I can do that, and that's getting into later stuff, so you want to spoil everything. There's a lot of different things people request, and you could I was one that would immediately jump in and like, how do I get this done? But my routine was get the ingredients, make it for the customer, but make sure I made enough so that I could also get some for Alta, because every different type of fruit gave a different story from Alta, of like a lot being about, her relationship with her father, and like, this is how I feel about my dad, or how I felt about my dad, or how I felt about my mom, and stuff like that. So getting to experience those, I'm like, here, take this tea. Now I'm going to take some of the same tea and go sit over there and drink it and just see what Alta just starts to spew out. So my routine became very methodical of always doing like this over and over again. But so differently each time, because a different person asks for something different, or some things that feel so like minuscule. Like, I think as you progress in a game, you'll see something happen less, right? Or it's not the way I want to phrase that. You'll see things get more intricate. Whereas in this game, a lot of the things I'm like, oh, we're doing this now at the end of the game. This seems like something we would have done at the beginning. Like, oh, don't heat up the water. Yeah. We're just going to make a cold tea. I'm like, oh, okay. Weird. Yeah, like this whole game I've just done hot tea, which the idea of not having to do it hot just seems so like, oh, that's so rudimentary. We would have done it at the beginning, but it is like one of the last things you do. So it's very like, it was interesting the way it was paced. But yeah, I had such a good time playing through this game. Just cutting out every ounce of audio around me to be like, I want to hear everything that's being said. Please don't talk to me right now. I'm trying to play the game.
Yeah, this was one of the first games in a long time where I didn't have anything on in the background while playing this.
Yeah.
I wanted to have my full attention to the game.
Okay.
And I think that actually suits the game as well, because the game itself really talks about slowing things down, being in the moment. So it's a happy coincidence. I still struggled. Like, I'm kind of jealous of you that you managed to like go about it in such a methodical way, because I was just doing everything to progress the story all the time. Because on the one hand, that's how I got into my own burnout.
Yeah.
On the other hand, it also felt like it would be what Alta would do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because she struggles with slowing things down as well. But I do wonder if I missed out on certain things because of that. For example, there's a season that seems pretty wintry.
Yes.
And then you meet a character who's like floating on a cloud or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had 1 or 2 conversations with them, and that was the end of that season.
Yep.
For me.
Yep.
That was the same for you? Oh, okay.
Yep. I was because that guy's really cool. He's a really dope
Yeah.
looking dude. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see. But yeah, I think that it's a very like transitional season. I don't think if I had to guess, maybe it was like 20-30 minutes in that chapter, and that was also me running around like there's something in this world I can fix, right? Like I got to be able to progress this section. But for context, it's not really a spoiler. It's how the seasons transition. But as you complete tasks for everybody, they'll lose the ability to talk to you. Like when you go to talk to someone, like, "Hey, what's up?" It'll just be like dot 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 dot. You're like, "Oh, are you mad at me?" Like, no. Like when you talk to Boba, he's like, "Oh, I see this. We're about to move on. Like we're about to move to a new section of time. We're going to progress forward. So let's go talk to the shrine and move to our next season, our next chapter." And that's one of the things I think stood out to me a lot. And I'll be on the Tales from the Backlog podcast next month with Dave Jackson and Matt Storm talking about Wanderstop. So I'll get a little more spoilery with that.
Nice.
For here, I just want to convince you guys to go play the damn game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like one of the first things you get in your second season, right? Because you don't get to finish Gerald's plot. You don't get to finish the Demon Hunter's plot, like what they came here to do. And you're also just like, well, what happened? Like, Bora's like, I don't know. Could be anything, but we just have to know, like, we're not here to finish their story. We're here to worry about ours. I'm like, fuck. Damn. But this is a video game, Boro. I'm supposed to see the side quest to the end. I have to see what happens. So, like, seeing that was such a eye-opening experience where I was like, I shouldn't fall in love with any of these characters because I'm not going to get to see it through to the end. I'm not going to get to see what they're about. So don't fall in love. And then I still fell in love with some of them. Like, oh, you're really cool. Oh, you're cute. Oh, shit. Why? You're insane looking. The character from chapter 4, which I was like, holy fuck, you're cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like it as such a great way of telling a narrative through like interacting with customers who sometimes want things and sometimes don't. And then sometimes like will show up to be like, I'm just a pain in the ass. I don't want to talk to you, but give me some fucking tea anyway. Like I think in chapter 2, there's a mechanic, which I think goes unnamed, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're just a very like not character, I suppose. They kind of just exist. They get their tea. They do something for you. Like, all right, I'm out. And I'm like, oh, but I've had characters who will leave and come back. And I'm like, they'll come back. Didn't come back. So I'm like, interesting. They really just keep me on my toes, like who's gonna remain important and who's not. Like any character could show up and say one thing, and I'm like, that might be the last thing I hear from you. I might never hear you speak again, and I won't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
So no, it's interesting.
It is interesting, especially when you mention not falling for them because they're not gonna stick around. That was like a central question to the game for me. Like, isn't that how life goes? People enter your life, stay for a while, and you never know when they will leave.
Yeah. If
they will leave. But does that mean that you should not fall for them? Or is it worth investing in that relationship even though it could be over just like that? This game made me feel things, man.
See, it's like we played the same game, so we got the same plot, so we're in the same place. But like, we had a conversation before this about something, and I'm like, "Fucker, why'd you say that out loud?" Because now I'm sitting like, yeah, no. I took the thing from the game, and now we're thinking about it in real life, huh? Crazy. No, it's so crazy, dude.
Yeah, the game the game feels like they've taken so many lessons from life and like harsh lessons that they learn through hardships, but they tell them all so beautifully. And okay, sometimes that messes with the pacing of the game, because that's one of the big critiques that I saw other people have. Was that the pacing felt a bit off. But that's how life is.
Yeah.
Life isn't perfectly paced to like fit a story.
Yeah.
And I actually like that about the game.
Absolutely. I think excuse me.
I
think I'm dying today. We're good. But no, there were a few moments, right? Like you'd finish a quest for someone and you can't really progress the story until someone has a quest for you. Sometimes those are just prompts. Like you talk to someone, they do a thing, and then the next person will walk up. Sometimes it's just a time thing. Like eventually, like you complete something and no one has anything for you. You just got to wait for someone to have something or someone new to show up. So I often find myself like, all right, cool. Then I'm just going to go collect a bunch of fruit. Like I'm going to, I would try and put so much more than we would ever need. Like in this game, you could just play it by turn and be like, cool, I just need this stuff when they ask for it. But I was just like, just to be safe, let me make 3 of the blue plants and 3 of the pink plants and 3 of the all these. And then let me make the big, large hybrids because I need 3 of the blue mixed with 1 of the pink and then 1 of the pink mixed with 3 of the blue. And I would build a whole garden. And then every season that resets where I'm like, crack my knuckles, green thumbs out. I'm like, all right, time to get planting again. So like I would use the time in between where no one had anything to do that, to build my garden. To then just see this field of like, that's too much. I don't need like any of this, but I have it. It's here now. And that was a nice, like, what I feel like if I could really get into like the Stardew's, the Fields of Mystery and just like lose hours upon hours to that, that's what I got out of this. And I think because it was so short comparatively and narrative driven, I think I was just like, oh yeah, fuck it. I'm just here to make Alta better. So let's just fucking do the plants. I know now, I did have. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say we can't talk about Wanderstop and not mention your cosplay.
Yeah,
because I see you're not showing it in any of the footage. But
I did I get any clips of it? Hold on, I gotta fucking find it.
I hope so because it was so wholesome. I loved that.
Here we go. I got it. Here we go. But yeah, so launch day. So I fell in love with Boro during the preview. I had a very like, I almost want to say like grandfatherly vibe from him. And like, as I was playing, God, I'm so sweaty in this clip. Jesus Christ. It was hot. But yeah, like playing the preview, I sat here at like 2 a.m. playing as Boro. I'm like, hey, hello, Miss Alta. How are you doing today? You having a rough time? How about you just hang out, drink?
Good voice.
Yeah, and I love it's so great. I like in my head, I'm just like, this is who Boro is, right? And then I like went and looked in the mirror with the shower. I'm like, wait, I could be Boro. So like I tweeted about it the one night and said like, hey guys, what if? And then Ivy Robe was like, oh my God. I mean, yeah, no, sure. That'd be pretty cool. So I'm like, got it. I know we're doing it on launch day. So no, I had a blast doing it. I got an apron from Michael's, grabbed some random like $2 junk butterflies and stuff. I may have gone to Walmart, went to the greeting card section and just took the envelope and not the card. So Walmart, robbery, baby. But it kept falling out, so I didn't even use it. So sorry, Walmart. I'll send you the 20 cents for the envelope or whatever. I don't know. The big megacorp really needs it. But yeah, no, it was really fun to get to play as Boro. A lot of people are like, shave the beard. I'm like, no. For a day, no. Can't be doing that. But yeah, I had a blast doing this. This was really cute for me. Like I don't do cosplay like that, but I've always thought like cosplay is fun. Like seeing people do that, like it looks really dope. Currently there's no part of my life where I'd have the time to commit to doing that on a regular, but I think like I do it from time to time. Like, oh, let's do a blank cosplay for something, or going to more cons these days. So like, it might be fun to do that, but also as a creator, it might be a different vibe. So, yeah, true. I like having my Boro stuff. Boro's a good time.
Yeah. I loved how everyone fell in love with your Boro voice.
Yeah, they really did. They really liked it. We had Emily from No Small Games pop up. She was in love. She had just finished a review for it, so she was just like, "Oh my God, this is everything." A lot of members in my chat who have been like, I've been away for a while because they've had school or just graduated and working on job stuff, who are just like, I saw the cosplay thing and I had to come hang out. I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect for this character. I kept saying Ivy Road. If we get the movie adaptation, just let me know. Hit me up. Listen, Boro will show up. Boro will take care of everybody who needs some tea. And then yeah, we made tea live on stream.
Boro will always show up.
Boro will always show up.
I mean, yeah.
We might not see each other for a while, but I'm sure we'll cross paths again. Yes.
No. Don't say that.
We love Boro. We love Boro. It was such a great time. I wanna focus on one thing, and I don't know how it played out for you. because we have a chat it was a bunch of us who got review codes for it. It's me, Matt Storm, Dave Jackson, Mike Towndrow, Joe Grote from Indian Informer. There's a bunch of us in there. So every time we'd be like, hey, this came up. Am I doing this right? Like, I don't know. In chapter 2, there's a bat character that shows up. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yes.
So towards the end of the chapter, they requested tea. I'm like, cool, I can make that tea for you. And listen, I really want to talk about Ren. So if we want to put like a spoiler warning up for that, we could absolutely do that in a second.
Okay.
But yeah, they asked for tea, right? And then you speak to Ren. We finish their narrative at this point, and then Ren gives me the ... So I'm like, oh no, at least. But in chapter 1, I got ... but was still able to finish other quests. This one like locked me out. So like when the bat's like, I would like some tea, I made the tea, I brought it to the bat, but I could not speak to the bat. So I never got ... from the bat. I couldn't complete it. So I sat there, I was like, hey, anyone else have this problem? Is this the narrative thing? Is this remember, Danny, you can't finish everything. I'm like, oh, maybe I can, but like, I can't tell if it's the game or narratively they're telling me not to finish it. So I ended up messaging the group. I was like, did you turn off, start back on? I'm like, I did, whole console, whole everything. It seemed to be a bug. My gut was hoping that they would just show up for the next season. I'm like, okay, here, I have your tea sitting here still. I need you to drink it. Yeah, no such luck. So I don't know if I missed. It's the only character I didn't complete the story for.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I kind of want to just know what happened. It could have been absolutely nothing. It could have been such an irrelevant, like, thank you for the tea. Have a good one. Like, didn't matter.
That's basically it.
Okay.
That's basically it. You learn about her homeworld and how there are strict rules and stuff like that. I think that's the character, right?
I think so. Yeah, but she's just like, yeah, we're not allowed to drink tea where I come from.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you learn a bit about her homeworld and how she might want to go back someday.
Okay.
And you get a picture.
Okay.
Of her
cool.
homeworld.
Aww.
And that's it. Yeah. It's a nice touch, but it's not vital to the story, I guess.
Then I'm a little more at ease. I'm not too worried about it. I was just like, I remember being like, but I just want to get them all done. And Dave hits me with like, well, you know what Bora would say? I'm like, I don't give a fuck what Bora would say right now. I want to finish the game, Dave. So
did you just? Oh my god.
Yes, I did. Because Bora, I wanted to give the bat tea. They were the second coolest character in that chapter. Fuck you, Nana. But yeah, I would love to put up the big spoiler warning now for Ren, because Ren, aside from Gerald, Ren had such a dope narrative bit for me that I'm like, holy fuck, this is cool. I loved Ren. And we could turn this into like favorite characters, whatever we want to do here. But yeah, Ren, in the previous clip, like huge muscly dude with a mask and giant like mane of hair, who is just like, hey, I think I recognize you. Who are you? And you're like, I'm Alta. I'm the biggest. Oh my god, I love that you're Alta. This is so cool. Like, I get to meet you. We should spar. And then Alta kind of hits with like, hey, I'm here for a reason. I can't. Also, we had a fight in the middle of my garden. I didn't know where the fight was going to be, so a lot of my cutscenes covered in plants. But yeah, Ren's just like, oh, you're not the woman I thought you were. I thought you were so much stronger than this. Like, you are you're kind of being lazy. And Alta's like, it's not that. I want to do all this, but I physically can't. He's like, okay, so I'm going to leave. I guess you stop sucking. And then Ren bounces. I'm like, fuck, that's such a dagger. Cause like, I know Alta doesn't want to, not succeed. Alta wants to do this, but then, Ren leaves and comes back a little bit later, and they have a narrative beat where like outside in the forest, time progresses faster than it does in the clearing. Yeah. So Ren goes out and does some missions and stuff. And I'm talking to one of the characters, I'm giving them tea. And when Ren comes back and walks up to me, he's missing an arm. And I'm like, holy shit, dude. Like, and it's not a cutscene moment. It just happens. So it felt so authentic in the way where I'm like, when you walk up to your friend, like, you losing weight? You're so much smaller now. I'm like, oh, thanks for noticing. Like, it was, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. You're missing a whole arm, dude. And it's after having this really sad moment with Ren of like, please don't look down at me like this. I'm going through a lot. And then Ren has a moment where he's just like, yeah, okay. Could you make me some more of that tea? Cause I'm having a hard time too now. I'm like, oh, fuck, Ren, buddy. Oh, thank you for coming to your senses. I wish you didn't have to lose an arm to do it, but like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was nuts. And then Ren ends up giving you his mask, which sits alongside your sword on like the stump, which I'm like, this is such a cool thing. I took so many photos of that. Like, it's such a cool little piece. It's so dope.
It is. It is.
Oh.
I struggled with that part of the game.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
After the things he says to Alta.
Yeah.
When she cannot fight him.
Mm-hmm.
I felt I was right back in that zone of my own burnout, hearing what people who didn't understand said to me back then.
Yeah.
And it hit me. It was like a gut punch. And I struggled with it. And I have to be honest, I'm not showing my best side here right now, but I struggled to feel a lot of sympathy for him when he came back.
Okay.
Even though he had lost his arm, but it's something that I struggle with in real life where people will see someone who has lost an arm and they'll be, oh no, that must be so hard. But they'll see someone with burnout and they'll not notice. And they won't understand. And they won't try to understand. And it's something I really struggle with. Of course, I feel empathy towards people who lose their arms, obviously. Yeah. And I did, in the end, I did feel like I wanted to like be there for Ren as well. But it like because it happened in such quick succession, like I was still recovering from the things he had said, and all of a sudden he was back already without his arm.
Yeah.
And I needed a moment to like get back to my senses and be like, oh, damn, that's terrible.
But fuck you, guy. Yeah. Yes. Fuck, dude. No, it's crazy, right? Because we talked earlier about like I was like, I don't fall in love with these characters because they're not going to stick around. And like I was kind of doing that with Ren, where he was one of the first. Oh, he's so cool. He was, after playing the intro 3 times, he was one of the first new characters I got to meet. So I'm like, oh hell yeah, look at this dude. Why does this dude suck? Oh no, what's happening to this dude? Like it was just this roller coaster, right? And like I would still think Ren is one of my favorite characters, probably top 3 with Gerald. And again, dope ass character from chapter 4 who's really fucking cool and that probably has another great story beat that I would love everyone to experience. But yeah, it's nuts. Like how attached you become to these just NPCs. Like I knew they'd be strong, but I didn't know I'd care so much for some of them. And then some I don't care very much at all for, but like I'm sure whoever's not my favorite is somebody else's favorite. Like someone out there's like, oh, I loved the mechanic. He was so cool. You know? Yeah. So here's the this is the moment right here. I didn't even realize I was playing it. Yeah, this is great. He just rolled up. I'm over here playing. He's just like, hey, I don't have an arm. I'm like, no, what?
You could say he was an unarmed man. All right, I'm still
I'm like, he lost an arm. How could you say such a thing? Any other characters you want to highlight? Things that you thought were important, or ones you want to mention?
Most of the characters that I felt the biggest connection to were like in the final chapters of the game, so I don't want to spoil that here.
Sure.
But I think they will get mentioned in the podcast that you'll be on next month.
I have to imagine.
So I implore people, if you've played the game or if you're unsure about playing the game, to give that podcast a listen.
Yeah, I think we're recording. I don't know what the timeline's gonna look like, so I won't even go down that road. You guys will know. Well, I'll let you know when it comes out. Instagram, all that fun stuff. You'll know.
And I'll share it. So
there you go. Exactly. Oh fuck. I'm trying to think. Any other thoughts on Wanderstop? Things you want to highlight and focus on?
I just felt it was one of the more human games out there. Yeah. Even though there were like these fantastical beings involved, this was like it felt the same as when I was playing Citizen Sleeper, where you're using this out of this world setting to tell the most human, intimate stories, and they nailed it. They absolutely nailed it.
It's great.
Also, I want a tea machine like that.
Yeah, listen. If I can get like a little mousetrap version of it on my desk, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty sick. Yeah, I would like that. Yeah, I'm excited to sit on this game for a minute. After I just finished it last night, pulled not an all-nighter, but just a late night to make sure I got that final chapter done in time. I just did an Eternal Strands podcast too, which I'll let you know when that's out as well. But I mentioned in there that what I'll do every year now, for the last maybe 5 years or so, is when I start the year, I make like a blank doc where I'm like numbers 1 through 10, and that's where I'll place my like game of the year, like top 10. So I'll be like, cool, this year we've had Split Fiction, we've had Eternal Strands, we've had Wanderstop, we've had something else I guarantee I'm not thinking about that's on that list, right? And I'll like ping them, like, okay, this goes here. I would totally put this above this and that above that. But then like a month later, I'm like, no, I'm still thinking about this one. Like I could see myself still thinking about Split Fiction, but not thinking about Wanderstop in the same way. I'm like, I guess I would put Split Fiction above, or, you know, these are just examples. It's a lot happening this year, but still fairly early. We're in March, so we still have way more than half the year left. So anything could happen. And Moonlighter's still this year. So, yeah.
And MonsterCon.
And MonsterCon, motherfuckers. Yeah. But yeah, it's exciting for me to think where I'm going to fall with this game later, because I could see it being in my top 5. I could see it being like the number 10 game, which is usually like, what was my multiplayer game this year? Or I could see it like popping down to honorable mentions, depending if we get another like emotional banger this year, right? So I don't know. We'll see how you guys can clip this and check it out at the end of the year when the top 10 comes out. Like, Danny, where'd you put Wanderstop? Yeah.
Maybe we need to do like an episode sometime soon where we make predictions.
Ooh. What's your game that you're going to be? Moonlighter. What do you mean? It's Moonlighter.
Yeah, I mean.
1 through 10. Moonlighter.
Probably.
It's got to be on there. I'll be shocked if it's not on their team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, Wanderstop also very easy platinum. Interesting thing to note. It's not like a do this, do that. It from what it looks like, it's just time based. It's just be in the game. Like, I don't know if there's any key actions that will prompt achievements or anything that you like how they are completed. But I have to imagine if you're like, I just want an easy platinum, you could probably buy the game, get through the forest, like sit down like in the world, just put it down and let it go for like 20 hours probably. It's probably way too long, but like everything just happened to pop for me randomly as I was existing in the world. And I got the platinum before I even finished the game. So there's not like a thanks for playing platinum. Like, yeah, I think I had like an hour and a half ish left of the game before I popped the platinum. So it's an easy one, not a hard one.
Yeah, I remember there was one achievement called Your Moment.
Yeah.
And the description is just something like you were not ready, but it was your time or something like that. But there wasn't anything in particular happening at that moment. So I was like, is something about to happen? Did I finish the game?
Die.
No. It was weird. Yeah, the achievements were a bit weird.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, I'll take it. If they're not like I was playing through the whole game getting every drink and like, because I'm sure there'll be a trophy to have every tea, but no, like, I want to run it back because I didn't mention this. I did get the field guide in the press kit that was sent to me by Ivy Road. And let me tell you,
did you use it?
So much. Let me tell you how adorable this was such an arts and craft thing while I played the game type experience.
Awesome.
So like, here are all my empty sticker sheets. They're gone. I used them all up.
Wow.
But the way it would work is it's exactly what you get in the game. This is like the final version, so some of the pages flip around, like, because you haven't unlocked seeds yet. But like, it's like, here's how the tea machine works. It has the bookmark. Here's how you infuse stuff. It gives you all the things about the mushrooms. But like, as you go through, it's blank, and they'll be like, cool, here are the small plants, and here's the recipes to make them. So you put the stickers in of like what it works. So I would often find myself, I'm like, cool, I planted all these, pause, and just let the music play. And I'm like, all right, blue, pink, yellow, next page. You get the sticker for when like Alta drinks a certain type of fruit. You can put that in there. So like, I was going through and doing this. It was such a unique experience that like, not a lot of games have this real life tactile version of something to use while you're in it. And again, like if they put these on like a merch shop, I think it'd be so cool. I think people would love to have this. I'm in the privileged position where I got it as a creator that like, I don't know how many people are out there. Like I know some of the people in this call I've mentioned have one as well. And I'd love to hear if they fucked with this the same way I did, but this was such a unique way to play this. Cause then as I was playing in the game, I'm like, cool, I'm completing stuff in here. And there's all these note pages that I didn't even touch. Like I didn't need them.
Okay.
But like, I feel like if I wanted to, right? If I become the gamer dad, my son's like, or my child, whatever. And one day it's just like, oh, what's this Wanderstop thing? I'm like, kid, let me get you the book. And then have fun. Yeah, but like,
hell yeah.
That'd be cool. It was really cool. It was a fun time.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, guys, that's Wanderstop. It's available right now on Steam and PlayStation. My bookmark says Xbox, but I think that's a lie. I don't know. So check Xbox now. But yeah, those are thoughts on Wanderstop, which means now I'm going to segue over to other Danny, who sat down with Kanai to talk about Split Fiction. Hi, other Danny. I'm here to talk to Kanai about Split Fiction. Hey, what's poppin'? Segues are fun. It's been a long day.
On mode of transportation.
Yeah, they're all, listen. They look so dumb.
I feel like I'd bust my ass on a Segway,
absolutely.
dude.
When I ever see the one Vine, or it might have been just TikTok, where some dude like cranked the thing too hard, so it got stuck, and then it fell on its side. So it was just like one of those like skip it, and it just
that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I have to find it later.
That sounds incredible.
But yes, so Kanai and I recently finished Split Fiction, the new game from Hazelight, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have a little review. So off the rip, Kanai, what did you think of Split Fiction?
I think it is a charming and super fun little entry into Hazelight's category and collection. I love the very fun and like I guess like co-op centric style of Split Fiction.
Yeah.
It's very much what I wanted from another Hazelight game. It is still goofy and it is still serious at moments. It still has that like heartwarming, heart-touching points. A lot of fun. Really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we've been playing the Hazelight game since Way Out. We did that one for YouTube back in Couch Gnomes days, and then a few years back we streamed It Takes Two. So the Game Awards opening live, whichever one it was, and they announced to do it. I'm like, Kanai, we're back.
Yep. And it's honestly just led to us like anytime we see like a 2-player adventure story game, we're just like, dude, we got to do that one now.
Put it on. Yep, we saw Double Shoulders is on the list now. We did Blanc.
Double Shoulders.
Bakura, however you pronounce it, is on the list, and they're making a sequel to that one too. So that'll.
Are they really?
Yeah, I think Bakura Planet or something like that. Yeah.
I just saw some other one called like Haunted Paws, and I was like, that's right up me and Danny's alley.
Becca sent me that one. I'm like, I remember making the little video for this one. They sent me hey, do a press thing for it. I'm like, you bet your ass I will. So that's another one I'm excited. Yeah. So yeah, usually we'll go for the 2-player co-op, split screens, whatever's going on. And Split Fiction, is I think you might have said it during stream that it was like your favorite of Hazelight so far.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I'm like, I think I agree with that. I really like It Takes Two. I like the little guy in the big world thing. That's just like a weird niche. I don't even know genre that I like fuck with so heavy. So It Takes Two, should have that edge. But like this game does so much. Where like I during the podcast last week we were talking about, hey, they hit their million copy sold milestone, and I was just like, this game does things that video games shouldn't do. Like you do these in a cartoon or an anime or something because like, oh, it's just a medium that doesn't require any interactivity. But I'm like, how am I playing this? How does this happen? And we'll avoid spoilers still a little bit later in when we're just talking about the game. But like this game does such amazing things. And the same way It Takes Two likes to jump around and do different gameplay elements. Like, oh, we're going to change the weapons. We're going to turn it into like a Magica type clone or everything. This does that like every 15 minutes. At the start, it's pretty quick. But then like you're going through sections of levels that are like, cool, here's a brand new kit. Here's a brand new kit. You want a side story? Here's a brand new kit for the side story. Like there's like so many different ways to play it. And it's nuts.
Yeah. It's almost like Astrobot in a way where like each level feels like it comes with its own unique like thing you have to do to it. But the craziest thing about Split Fiction is like in It Takes Two, I think there were some times where you're like, man, this feels a little janky to do this in a game where you're not meant to do this.
Yeah.
Every time you change like genre or like theme in this game, it all feels good. Like
Yeah.
there are very few moments where I was like, oh man, that didn't feel good. Good thing it's over. I like, even when we did like some of the mini games, I was like, oh, I recognize this genre, and then I would just immediately like muscle memory would kick in for that genre. I was like, that's incredible.
Yeah, 100%, because it switches the genre, but still the core mechanics are the same. Like the controls, the different levels of mobility, like it all has the same flow no matter which perspective you're in. But still, you're just like, okay, I still have to play this differently. Like we go from the behind the camera 3D platformer to 2D platformer to the isometric whatever. The different styles. There was like a sketchbook type level where I'm like, fuck, it all looks so unique and fun and it's different, but it's still the same. And I fucking love Haze Light. They're just becoming, but still one of my favorite developers, period. And I fucking love everything they do.
I think pretty much anytime something they have in the works is like announced, I just get excited. And I'm almost always like, this is going to be fun. Like, even if it's bad in like control scheme or something like that, which none of them really have been. Like A Way Out had some moments. And like I said, with It Takes Two, there were some moments where we're like, oh, that like 5-minute segment could have felt better this way. But like this one really shined with that. And that just gives me like all the hope for anything they choose to do in the future.
Yeah, I think one of the weak points, that I think it starts and changes drastically, but like after our first session, right, we had 3 sessions where we like streamed 3 hours and like 5 to 6 hours, then 4 hours to kind of beat the game. So roughly like 12 to 13-ish hours. But I think at the beginning of the game, after our first session, I was like, I feel like the characters aren't as strong. I feel like we started with like Vincent and Leo, and I'm like, okay, I get these guys' motivation. We had Cody and May. I'm like, oh, these guys are great, even though they're like a divorced couple. I felt with Zoe and Mio, I was like, I'm not as invested in these guys right now, and that's fine. The gameplay is going to carry it, and then that changes as we go. So I don't know how you feel about the 2 girls playing through this one.
So I think with Zoe and Mio, I think maybe a big part of it is like showing who they are through what they write. And I think that was pretty cool. Like, I didn't know a whole lot about Mio. I just know she was like, I guess, minor spoiler for the very beginning, she's nervous about getting in the machine. But then like seeing her stories, you're like, whoa. And you start like really getting an idea of this. And then same with Zoe, you get that like wanderlust, like childlike whimsy out of Zoe, and then with Mio you get that like hardened, like tougher mindset, like gritty dystopian so like it's 2 very contrasting mindsets, and I think when you're in one and the other person doesn't know what they're looking at, it's really hard to like know how it interacts with each other and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I like them, but like you said, it's harder to make an immediate connection because you get the brief description, right? You get the like, here's Mio, here's Zoe, here's their very brief rundown, play the game. And then with Leo and Vincent, I think you get a little bit of backstory at the beginning. It's like, here's why this guy's in jail, here's why this guy's in jail, here's their motivations to get out. And then with I do think It Takes Two has the best like immediate character building. So they're like, here's the couple, here's their entire home, here's their careers, here's like how they met, all of this stuff, and they're fighting, and then it just starts the game with like, solve it, fix the problem you started. So like there's immediately like a conflict that needs resolved, and there's immediately like a little bit of personality in both characters from that situation.
Cody.
Yeah,
and like I think there's a lot more side characters to build off of those. Maybe less A Way Out. Definitely It Takes Two, because you have Dr. Hakim. You have the various little whatever contraptions exist. You have the army of squirrels. You have the bee queens. You have the bugs. We had Peaches and Cream. Like there's our lovely name spiders, but like Cutie. There's all these extra characters in that, and for the most part, in terms of dialogue, you really just have like. Spoiler alert, the villain, the fucking radar dude, and then just really Mio and Zoe for the most part. A few extra characters here and there, but usually it's just between them.
Definitely no speaking characters. Like you definitely don't gain any knowledge from them. It's just like usually it's like a power up from them or something.
Absolutely.
Where A Way Out, like you said, you get so much background, like world building just from like the characters you interact with. Same with I might have said It Takes Two, but A Way Out, like you get to meet like families, you get to meet like
Mm-hmm.
officers and other prisoners, and like all kinds of stuff throughout the story.
Yeah.
You get to meet like the overarching bad guy of that story. So it definitely like doesn't have that immediate pool of like side characters.
Mhm.
And when you do hear from the other characters in this, it's just like they keep going through the blank, sir, like
Yep.
blah, 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 blah. And then it's just like, oh, what are they doing now? And back to gameplay.
Yep. And then you'll
so,
have like the cops or the police robots are just like, look out, they're escaping. And then I don't think anything really in the medieval one. I think that's all monsters and animals that you're like not speaking with. I guess the king, but
yeah, there's the king, and then there's the tree, which is like a sentence or two.
Yeah.
Just so like there's not a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also I didn't think about it. I guess for anyone who might just be like, I've heard of this split fiction. What is it? What's it about? So from Hazelight, co-ops, intended split screen experience, but you can do it online. But you're playing as Mio and Zoe. They both are young writers. They want to get their book published, and they're working with this company, Radar, that's doing this Animus style thing. Anyone familiar with Assassin's Creed, where they put you in this bubble and it's going to put you into the story that you wrote into your book, so you have the opportunity to experience it. I don't know exactly what that does for publishing purposes, but it's fun. But Mio's nervous. She gets knocked into Zoe's and vice versa. So they end up exploring each of their books back and forth through different levels to try and escape. And the big Radar guy's like, hey, we don't like that. We should stop that.
Yeah. I'm assuming the idea was steal their properties and just be like, what? How could it be theirs? They didn't have anything published. Like,
yeah,
I have to assume that was like the plot. But yeah, no, super interesting story. Like, I think it kind of has its own take on like the AI versus human writer thing, and like how like the human mind will always kind of like overtake AI in terms of like creativity and like aspects like that. Because like I think there's even parts in the game where they're like, I didn't write that, or like that's not how I wrote it.
Yep.
And then like they end up finding the fault in it because of that.
Fuck, I love Hazelight, dude.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just I watched a MinMax video the other day where they did like 127 questions with Joseph Ferris, and they asked him like different things about like what was the thought of going into this, or how did this change? And there were a few spoilery questions for anyone who finished it, but if you hadn't finished it, you had no context for it. But they're asking Phil like, what would be next, right? Did these company reach out and they're like, oh, hey, what if EA calls today and say, hey, we need you to make an army of 2. Are you going to do it? And they're like, nah, we got too many ideas. We have too many Hazelight things.
Wow.
Right?
Too many ideas.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. And
that's crazy.
Joseph, I'm like, what do you have, Joseph Ferris? What's in the back pocket? Right. And there were a couple comments about like, could we get a sequel? He's like, oh, anything could happen. And he's like, would it be It Takes Two? He's like, I don't know. And like, it was just like, you're not answering, but then it was like, all right. So the assumption, It Takes Two. And then there was a question of like, would you do single player? Like, again, anything can happen, but like Hazelight is built upon this co-op experience. And I'm like, I really don't want to see it change, but I'll take it.
I think it's really important though that they do that, because I think something that like used to be a thing is like every generation or like every console used to have those games. Like it used to have those like meant to be 2-player, really meant to like play it together on the couch with like family or friends. And we like don't get that anymore with a lot of like online games. And when we do get it, it feels like different. And I think Hazelight really captured like lightning in a bottle with making it feel like it's like same couch from a distance sometimes, or same couch and it's still being fun and different and exciting and like interesting. Because you mentioned Army of 2 earlier, like I think the challenge of trying to go back and play one of those games, knowing it's a co-op experience, sounds daunting. But like if they made one, I would be excited for what it was.
Absolutely, that'd be so good.
Yeah, it would be great. But I also just I like can't speak this game's praises enough as somebody who recently played it, but also has like played their other properties. I just have so much faith in this company now, which is going to suck because if there's ever one that comes out, you know, it's going to hurt. But if there's ever one that comes out that is bad, it's going to hurt bad. But for now, it's for now we're riding on the high life of just the 3 bangers that came out back to back. And even though I haven't played Brothers is like a highly respected and reviewed game. So
Yeah, from what
I'm watching the gameplay. You hit like every car.
Listen, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. This is the game that you drive a bunch, and then they're like, now Zoe, you drive. I'm like, I don't know how to drive yet. I didn't get the chance. Yeah, I think speaking of like Brothers, right, being their first game, but I think Brothers is not a co-op experience. It is a single player 2-character experience.
Yep.
And this came up in with the remake, which I think adds co-op, so you can do that. But I think there was this like, no words said, but there's co-op in a remake, and Joseph's like, I had nothing to do with that one. I'm like, ooh, was that a bitter response? Did we not like that? Did we?
Yeah.
But like, he loves his own game. He's like, he had to rank them. He's like, it's the 3, and then like, Brothers at the bottom. Brothers still good, but it's at the bottom. Okay, stop talking about this. I don't want to talk about my like favorite games anymore. But yeah, for sure.
With Brothers, it's so weird because I remember some of my friends who like really recommended that game, and the way they did it is they would have somebody over, one person would hold one side of the controller and the other would hold the other, and that's how they did the original co-op on the like first version of it.
Yeah, and like, we're trying to get that close, maybe, but it sounds like a Steam remote play option, right? If we have one controller, you just run the other, but still,
right? Yeah, but I mean, listen, it can happen. Yeah. Well, PAX is right around. PAX is right around the corner.
Listen, Brothers,
Brother can't be that long. Brothers can't be that long.
It's got to be what, 8-hour experience, maybe. I forgot.
Hey, that's our whole train ride.
All right, cool. So we'll go to GameStop. We'll get one of those portable monitors. We'll bring a laptop. We'll watch the Sonic movies while we play Brothers.
Perfect.
Sounds like a lot of work. The Steam Deck.
Wonderful.
We're set.
The Steam Deck. Boom. We're set. Yeah. You just hold half the Steam Deck. I'll hold the other half. Everybody will think we're a couple and that we're doing something weird together that they don't understand.
Oh God, let me think here. I guess now we can get a little more into like spoilery stuff here. So if anyone's just like, cool, I've got the idea, we like Split Fiction, you should play Split Fiction. If you got a friend, a significant other, partner, a parent, whatever you want to do some video game stuff, go play it. It's a good game.
It's great. Heavy recommendation. Yeah. Recommendation. Wow.
If you had a favorite chapter section of Split Fiction, like which one's yours?
Oh man, it's really hard for me to choose. I think I have 2. I think it's boiled down to 2. And it comes down to the final segment, like the final boss, or just the initial dragon section. I think are my 2 favorites. I absolutely love those sections.
Yeah.
The uniqueness of both dragons where they're so different, but like eventually they're going to be similar.
Yeah.
But you're like, man, how do we get there? Yeah. Even the whole time when we were like ramping up to it, I was just like, man, where does this like? How are we getting more from this? And it just kept coming. Like we just kept getting more and more and more. And then the final boss is just such a visual spectacle.
So dumb.
Well, I'll talk about it a little more in detail, but like it essentially splits the screen down the center. There's the left side is like the science fiction, like grim dark, ninja cyber fantasy. And then the right side is all like medieval high fantasy, like elven / like fey wild, like wilderness aesthetic. And you are both interacting with both at the same time. The characters are switching outfits as they switch sides. Each side has their own unique obstacles. There's different physics. If you're on the right side and you like dive into water, you're in water physics. But if you move over to the left side of the screen and you're in the sky, you just fall and die. There's a hot moment where I was like, well, if it's water on one side, I'll just swim over to the other. I'll be fine. Nope, fell right out of the sky. And it is incredible to like experience that, and like there's like camera turns which makes the angles weird where you're more in one side than the other, and it's just such a like visual anomaly that like amongst the chaos of fighting a boss and like going through and trying to be like what the hell is going on while taking all of that in is just insane. It's so cool.
Yeah, and that with like the final like fight, like you fight fucking Radar here and he's just got all these different world twisting moments of like, someone made the joke, I think during our second session, where it's like, oh, the final fight's going to be the screen is split. You're in the 2 separate worlds. And then the boss is like the middle third. We're like, that'd be pretty cool. And then that's exactly what happens. Where like he is throwing one thing on one side. He's pulling this bar, which is squishing you over here. And like, there's all these different interactions. Like how is this a game? How did this work? And it's
dude,
wild.
mention like the TV and the tablet sections.
Yep.
Insane.
Oh, that was trippy.
The tablet section sucked. That
Yeah.
like I think I said after stream that night, I was like, that would have made me sick.
Yeah, I just kept feeling because you had to turn the tablet to change the world for me, and I'm like turning my head where I'm like my monitor's straight, but my tablet is sideways.
Yeah,
like, I have to go this way. So it was weird, not in like a bad way, but definitely a jarring way. Where I was like, ooh, that was an out of body thing. I guess more in body.
In that point, there are several times where I'm like, oh man, I have to try and not watch Danny because I'm going to get motion sickness. I have to. And then they were like, you're like, right. And I was like, oh crap. I gotta actually watch him. No, yeah, that part was wild. Did you put this part on for a particular reason?
I just thought it was fun.
Okay. It is a really fun part. I know when you finished this, you were so happy that section happened. I know
it was really cool. Yeah, it's I don't know that it hits my favorite, but it's definitely one of my most memorable because of how just real it is. But you finish one of the boss fights in Mio's story, and as you keep I forgot about the sword through the face shit.
Yeah, dude.
But,
Akira slide, let's go.
You're on like a bike chase, so Mio's driving, and I forget what you have to do, but you have to unlock your phone for something. You're trying to get out.
You're trying to stop a self-detonation sequence of the bike you're on.
Yep. So you're like, okay, we got to stop this, but we have to do all the captures in the world. So you turn on the phone, you're trying to do face recognition, but it can't catch you because you're driving. So you're like, fine, put in the password. You put in the password, you move on. It's like, all right, hey, if you want to get in, press all the buttons that have the fire extinguisher. I forget what the actual item is. You click on the thing and you keep going. You're like, nope, I hit the wrong one. Okay, do it again. Got it. Like, it's not going through. Hey, try the fucking keywords, right? Read what's on the screen. And as you type it in and go hit enter, it autocorrects to the wrong thing. Like, no. And I freaked out thinking I fucked it up. We're about to die. And then Zoe starts going like, okay, no, narratively, that's what happens. So you retype it and make sure autocorrect doesn't do its thing. By the time it's all said and done, you're like, okay, we're crashing. We're going to die. It's fine. But it's such a fun, silly thing where like, it's 30 to 45 seconds of like, God, me trying to sign into any account I've ever had in my life in a video game during a high-speed chase is nuts. It's such a fun little scene, and I adore it. But yeah, that coupled with, the end sequence is great. And then, the dragons, I think, is probably the best level, I would say. There's a lot of cool cyberpunk ones. But...
Yeah, I would say by far the dragons is like from start to finish the most fun.
Yeah.
Because we're already in the spoiler territory, so I don't mind talking about it.
For sure.
But like the dragons are in 3 different segments. So there's like baby, then there's like adolescent, then there's like adult.
Yeah.
And I might even be forgetting a 4th one. I guess there is technically the flying part. But like
but I think it counts as adult. I think we're talking
I guess I guess
water,
it would.
then dive into the gold and you're like
Yeah.
But
it is crazy how much different stuff you get just from those like 2 because I was talking that it was like Astrobot with like the level specific power-ups. Those level specific power-ups end up being 6 powers, like not just 2. They end up being so much. And even then, those aren't the only things. You get those swords too, which are sick. And you're shooting like these big old sword beams across the map at this like gigantic boss who's like semi-challenging. And I think in this is the level where we fight the one big tank thing. Like there were surprisingly hard bosses. Yeah, one of the like 5. Which is a great joke. Like it's not even like a design flaw. Like they literally
tank?
Another tank, Neo. He's like, tanks are cool.
We're in the medieval, like, oh my god, is there gonna be a tank? And there kind of was a few times. I'm like, okay, all right, we're doing tanks again. But no, especially like the dragons, because when we start, there's the moment of like, what does yours do? What does mine do? Right. And yours is because Mio's like, I don't like dragons. And Zoe's like, dude, just fucking fall in love with it already.
Yours
you
was
like
climbing.
Yep. So you climb and the little guy, cause the first thing is like, they both put him in like a little backpack and I'm like, mine has a tail, yours doesn't. But the tail needs to be exposed because you do the like pogo climbing type thing. I'm trying to think of a game to compare it to, but you like shove a tail in and then you kind of hold it and then launch yourself up and stab again so you can keep going up the wall. While yours starts with just the acid spit. No. You have wings at the start?
Mine had wings. Yeah.
I
think mine
Mio's
also had
more.
Yeah, I think mine also had acid breath.
Okay.
And then when it got bigger, I think it was just bigger. Like I think it was just gliding and acid breath, but bigger.
And then mine turned from I still climb. I didn't use the tail anymore, but then I got rolling, so I became like a rolling, like a bowling ball, and I would smash through walls and break things.
Maybe mine was just flying at first.
Yeah, I can't think. I'm trying. I can remember the poison like melting the metal. I'm like, I can't remember if that was first or not. But yeah, either way, yeah, the 3 stages, right? And each time, just like Zoe's are great. I love my little guy. Visually, I was like, my guy's better. I love my big bulky blue dragon. But I was just like, huh. Well, Emil doesn't even like her dragon. Why she get more shit than I do? Like, what the fuck? What is it? It's not fair. Give me another thing. But like, even still, I was like, my guy gets to do the shit. I like it. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, great level. And I'm trying to think like the ball level is like another standout. I don't think it's one of my favorites, but I think it's the most unique from the rest of the game.
Yeah. It's really interesting because you spend like 25% of it as the human characters.
Yeah.
And then like, well, it starts off like 25% of it. Then you play like this huge section of level where you're just the ball.
Yep.
And then you come back and it's just like, oh, we're not over yet. The balls are armor now. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And then the whole new powers. Yeah.
Zoe's ball is magnetic, so you can use it to latch onto things and slap open doors, whereas Mio's is like made of little spider bots, and they'll like change form or crawl into spaces and like turn into a little swarm and go through and stuff. And
yeah, you can hack things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, Mio's does a lot more than Zoe's does, so I'm like, damn, y'all really said let's give Mio some shit. But
I think it was fun that this game, the characters we picked were really like our aesthetics too.
Yeah.
Like I think it was really funny that yours ended up being like the really high fantasy, like whimsical blue, and then mine ended up being like the grim dark, like kind of goofy, like teenage boy fantasy with red. And I was like, that's kind of fun. Because at first I was like, I like Zoe, and then you were just like, I think I'm gonna pick Zoe. I was like, I'm fine with Mio. I could be either. And then like I think by the end of it, I was like, okay, yeah, Mio's cool. I like Mio. There were times like with the dragon where she's just like, oh, does this thing have to lick me? I was like, yeah, what's your problem? If I had a dragon, I'd be so happy.
Yeah. Oh fuck! And then another fantasy one, like I think it's the first major fantasy one we get, is where you can shapeshift. So Mio turns into
that one was fun,
gorilla, baboon, whatever, and then the little Dragsalotl, is that what we call it? What was it?
It was an Ottigan. But it was an otter dragon. Yeah. So there was Drotter, and then there was Ottigan.
Yeah,
and we were kind of split on what the name was, but I think Danny and I were like, we like Ottigan more.
And then Zoe could turn into either like a forest sprite or a giant ent. And I was like, oh, look at these different things. And then we spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out a fucking seesaw.
Yeah, that's true.
Still might be something there. I don't know. But no, it was another fun level. I think it just had a lot of different puzzles to solve. But yeah, good favorite levels. I guess any other like thoughts on Split Fiction, things we didn't talk about or things you're lingering on to mention?
I feel like there's like... I think the only other thing I really want to talk about is like how much love and care they show by being like, hey, if you played our other games, here's a little reward for you. Here's a little Easter egg. And a lot of them, they don't make you go out of your way to look for them late in the game. Yeah. We found 2 right in the beginning, and then that was pretty much it. There was a part, like, I think there were a couple parts where like, oh my God, is this from this? But like, I don't think a whole lot of them were.
Yeah.
I just forgot about the
we fucking launched me having the trophy for that. She said something about pushing like duh. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the you have the clip out of it, but the cutie one was great. We both expected it, and we were both like, oh, that's really cute. And you're like, please don't let me be able to pull her like an ear off. And then it was like, it was.
It gives and then little handles like, no.
Yeah. You also get the real world, like the real world reference to when he was at the Oscars or what
Game
was it?
Awards. Game Awards. Fuck the Oscars.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Like the fact that they are like, they know their fan base and they like are expecting people to know the brand and they're rewarding people who do, but otherwise they're just like goofy little things. That's so fun.
Yeah, which I'm really interested. I want to find a person who doesn't get that reference, because like there's more people that watch the Game Awards than have played this game so far. So I'm like, okay,
right.
Generally speaking, the likelihood that everyone who's played knows the bit is there. But like there's some couple who's like, oh, I saw this cute 2-player game, we should pick it up, and they don't watch the Game Awards every year like some of us do. So like, do they sit there and go like, oh, that's a weird thing to bring up? Who said fuck the Oscars? Like, oh, it's the bid, you got to get and like see the clip. But Joseph Fares is just such a fascinating human, and like one of these years we'll get to the Game Awards and be like, hey, listen, I ain't trying to bug you all night, but like, fucking thank you, because you're a cool ass dude.
We made it to the seesaw.
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, we just like, how does so if you go big and then I go small, but then if you go up and then wait, there's a button we have to actually stand on. It's not working. I don't understand. Yeah.
And then we were also trying to figure out like how to mechanically get our fingers to do all the switching.
Yep.
And yeah.
Listen, if anyone out there did this and you got something out of it, you got an achievement, let us know what it was, because we could not figure it out. I had no idea. But yeah, Split Fiction, amazing co-op game. There's so many different levels, 100%. So many different things. If you haven't played any of the Haze-like games, by the time this comes out, 5 days, the Steam Spring Sale should still be going for a little bit. Both A Way Out and It's Take-Two are on sale. It Takes Two are on sale. I think A Way Out's like $5 and It Takes Two is like 7 or 8 or something like that. So like
incredible deals.
Yeah, pick up both of those and you're like, oh, these
deals.
are great. Then just grab Split Fiction at full price or wait for a sale, either way. But also, because we didn't mention it, if you're seeing this, you're like, this seems cool, but I don't know if I could spend $100 on a game. Haze-like games do a friend pass thing, so you only need one copy of the game and the other person can download the demo and they get the full game. They just won't get like achievements or anything like that. So that's how we've been playing them. Yeah. So if you and a buddy want to go halvesies, $25 each, buy the game, whoever Steam account you put it on, the other person just downloads it and then you connect online and you play. So
yeah,
one game.
Super easy, a lot of fun. Highly recommend. Easy replayability for all the extra stuff.
Yeah. Which you gotta get that platinum.
Yeah.
I gotta get that platinum. But if you want the $50, we'll do it.
Maybe. I haven't done it with any of the other ones, but I'm tempted just because I think Becca would like these games, but I know it would fall into the territory of like behind every girlfriend struggling for her life is the boyfriend waiting for the objective to be complete, and it's just me watching her die repeatedly.
Yeah, dude. Though, like, I think they'd be a great couple game. I know we've had the bit of like Connor's just like, hey, but like I need someone to play these with. I need to. I'm like, oh, sorry, Con and I are locked, buddy. You just, I mean, replay them, but there's the magic of experience for the first time with someone of like you both see everything together. But yeah, I need to still platinum It Takes Two. I think the goal was to do that for Chris's playthrough, and we did 2 sessions, and then that series kind of ended. So I have not done that. And then this will just be one where I'm like, yeah, you just want to fucking, I guess, play it again, or there's a chapter select so we can find. There's a dope level I've seen in the trailer with some giant ass fucking. They look like gods. There's a very God of War themed thing. I'm like, we did not find this side quest. So
we did not at all.
Yeah. But very excited to eventually get this platinum. 1 year, one day.
Yeah.
Who knows?
This is one I'm excited to replay just to see all the extra stuff because the side stories are so cool.
Yeah, dude, they're sick. They're so sick. But yeah, that's our thoughts on Split Fiction. And this is a great time. This is a weird episode, guys. You're going to get me and Tofr, then me and Kanai, then back to me and Tofr, so stick with us. But now we're going to hop into our what we've been playing section, and Kanai's got a couple indie games that he's been playing. They want to talk about it a little bit. So do you have a preference you want to start with, or just...
We can start with the short one. We'll do Ropukas.
Sounds like and plans. So Kanai, what's this Ropukas thing you're talking about?
So, for anybody who likes idle games, I am a severe haver of ADHD, and just having something that is on in the background that I can refocus on and just look over and go, oh, that's making progress. That's cool. And then just get little unlockables. Something about it just makes my brain feel good. I think I have like 5 idle games installed on my phone at any given time. I have Ropukas. I have Cookie Clicker on my computer. I have like 3 or 4 other ones. I have like Leaf Blower Simulator and like 3 other ones. And every now and again, I'll just check in and go, oh, I can upgrade some stuff. And this one is so cool because it can go over stuff. So like if you have a window that you have open and like there's a fraction of it that's unnecessary, you can keep it there in front view and you can just every now and again just scroll down, upgrade everything. Your little guy, like if you click on him, he waves to you and he's like responsive. The music's really calming. It's very akin to like the lo-fi beats. Super cool, cute little indie game, super simple. He just walks around his island, he cuts grass, and then he goes to bed when he gets tired. Every so often you get him a new piece of furniture, new piece of like accessories, new house, and then you fill out these sticker books. And then when you get to 5 stickers, you've completed that sticker. You have every rank of it. Each sticker gives you like a higher grass rate earned or whatever, because you can trade grass for coin and then coin for the objects. So it's just a really simple loop. It's a really cute game. Really big fan of it. A lot of fun. And he just sits on your desktop. You don't have to take up a whole lot of like memory or real estate or anything like that. You can make it as small or as big as you want.
I love that we're getting the more like part of your screen idle games on Steam these days.
There's so many cool games like this.
Yeah.
If if I had played more of it, I would have got on about I forget what it's called, Window Kill or whatever.
Yes, yep, I remember.
That game is cool as fuck, but like I've sunk maybe 15 minutes into it for like the theme of it, and I was like, okay, I don't have a good take on this game, but it's cool. But yeah, no, Rapunga's I think if you check my Steam, I probably have like 20 or 30 something hours on it. I'll be like, Danny, you want to watch anime? And then I'll just sit this on the side, and I'll be like, oh, hold on, my frog has like 40,000 grass. Okay, I'm good.
I love it. It's because I didn't think about what chore would be on the PC, but I feel like it wouldn't be too much. But running like 5 of these at once, if we did like
the game,
Ropuka, Rusty's Retirement, probably not Window Cup, but I'm thinking just whatever I don't want. I know Desktop Fishing is coming out. I think that's scheduled for this year. But they're all these just kind of like let the game sit and then time to click on the thing. I'm like, see a computer. I'm going to go to work or whatever. And I just come back and all my little farmers are doing their shit on the screen. I'm like, wait, there's a thing here. There's something here.
It's so cool too. Cause it's not fully interactive, but like it's on your computer. So like it's not blocking off the screen. It's not taking up full real estate. Mine, I have like a fantasy landscape, and it's so funny how easily it just blends into the background. I just pop it, and then suddenly it's not just grass and flowers, it's a little frog with a house like running around farming and like cleaning it up, and I just think it's adorable. The UI is super like convenient and cute. I love it. It's a lot of fun. And I have bought like probably 3 or 4 idle games this year on Steam just because I like I said, I just like having that simple thing I can get in and do. But yeah, having something that can be running and I know is getting done it's cool. I enjoy them. I really like idle games. I think they're fun.
Okay, there's a stream idea I need to do. I think there's some night I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm just gonna pull up 5 of these, let it sit overnight,
dude,
and see what happens on Twitch.
I've thought about just like what happens if I just like pop open one of these games and just let it stream muted mic. And everybody can just like keep tabs on it. Every so often I just walk over, make an upgrade, change something. And it's like, oh, when did you change the chair? Oh, the tree's different. Like little shit like that.
There's like cozy lo-fi farming, and there's just like you have Rusty on one side, you got Ropuka on the other. Yeah, I think. Weirdlets would be another. I don't know if that one has a lot of interactive, but it's just like a desktop pet that'll just go around and grab shit and move it around. So hold on. There's an idea here, chat. We could do this. Hell yeah. No, you were playing this on Discord the other night, and I don't think we have the screenshot like at the ready, but like you have like a cherry blossom tree thing as your wallpaper, and there's like a little landmass, and you kind of put it on there so it looks like he's just kind of chilling within your wallpaper, so it just like fit really well. Hell yeah. The game looks adorable. I hadn't wished to see yet, but it's like typically at $4, something like that. I think it's on sale for the spring sale.
Speaking of, I need to see how much grass he has.
Hey,
he got me 4,000 grass just from the start of this.
That sounds like a lot.
Dude, actually, it does.
There's a bundle right now. It is called.
Oh yeah.
The bottom of your screen bundle. That comes with
like $25.
Yeah, 18 right now.
18. Okay, damn.
It is My Little Life, Tiny Pasture, Ropukas, and Desktop Cat Cafe.
Yeah. I remember when I went to go buy it, I was like, oh my God, I could have so many of these on my right monitor while I'm doing nothing.
I'm gonna add that to the cart real quick. We're just gonna.
They're fun, man. Yeah. It's I also like if you have Wallpaper Engine, if you have that thing that just gives you an animated wallpaper and it like is reactive or it's like audio reactive, it has a clock on it. It's just one other little widget that sits there, and it's goofy and it's fun, and I love it. I think it's great. I always have a thing with Steam on my computer where I have to like go and open Steam, but the first thing I do is like I need to open up Rapunga's as soon as Ropuka needs to start farming grass, and then I'm like, fuck, I have to go and do my Steam thing to get it open first. So
I think I have to do that. I have the teleprompter, which is basically a fourth monitor that really is just there for me to read scripts. They'll just slap him over there and just leave him on the screen.
And you can set him so he's like always in the corner, like active, or you can make it so that things can go in front of him so that like you don't have to worry about him interfering with something.
Dude, idle games, people, they're fun.
They're cool even. They're cool.
But let me see here, because we also played the new Donkey game. So go ahead and tell me about that one.
So Star of Providence is the exact opposite of Ropuka's Island, where Ropuka's Island is the super chill, like just check in on it every now and again and have some I
hadn't seen the developer's logo, and I don't know exactly
D13.
what I'm looking at.
It is
a
the spaceship
bird's-
from the game.
Okay. I was like,
Drinking
is that
a juice box,
skull?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
No,
That's sick.
yeah. So D13 is a super small indie company. It's like 2 people who made this game over like 13 years.
Yeah.
And it is such a charming retro style roguelike shmup. It is amazing. The amount of action, the amount of callbacks to like other roguelikes. There are enemies in here. I'm like, that's Isaac. And like there are so many things where I'm like, oh, that's from this. That's from this. The enemies are super cool. It has such a good level of comedy and uniqueness. Oh, there's so many weapons that all do different stuff. It's such a fun like callback to this style of game. There's so many different ships. There's so much customization. And it's just always something going on that you are having to interact with and like maintain, that it is chaotic and exciting. It is amazing. Even down to like what your background is, you can change. You can like unlock new backgrounds through the gameplay. You unlock hats for the different like enemies, and for you get a ship at one point called Scully, and it's just like a skull. But when you kill a skull enemy in the game that has a hat, it's like it'll be like new hat unlocked, new hat unlocked, new hat unlocked. I think there was a room where it was like constantly spawning them till I broke the little nest. I think I got like 7 hats in that one room.
Hell yeah.
And like as you play, you upgrade your ship gets stronger. You find new upgrades, new ship like blueprints and stuff. It's so cool. And almost like anything with a roguelike, like roguelikes, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I had this run with this item. There's almost none of them that'll be the same unless you're strictly sticking to the primary weapon and doing a primary weapon build, which is like it's the meta thing to do. But like the weapons they give you are cool. Like there's just a big ass sword where you're a spaceship swinging a sword and it does so much damage and like blocks projectiles, but it still has ammo. Why does it have ammo? It's such a goofy, fun, chaotic game. And when I saw it was for Switch, I was like, I'd rather play it on PC. The minute I like got maybe 3-4 levels in and went, this would feel really good on my Switch.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But like a twin stick shooter, you know? It's a little different on mouse and keyboard. But yeah, it's such a fun, charming game. And like Donkey does his like gamer cred and like, the most unique game of this year, Star of Providence, and then he'll make videos about other games and talk about Star of Providence in those. But like it's a really sweet game from such a small company. It does deserve attention. And I'm so glad that he worked with them to get this made, because it's awesome.
Hell
it's so cool.
I'm so interested in like Donkey's publishing company, right? So Big Mode got announced a couple years back, and they were just like, hey, we're publishing games. And I remember making a video and being like, oh god, every YouTuber's got to do something now. And I was like, I trust Donkey though. There's something like there was not to throw out names or anything, because I ain't trying to have beef, but like I've seen people are like, hey, we want to do indie publishing. I'm like, do you? Because like you play like RuneScape and this like 24/7.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't care about them. This feels like a get rich quick, like take advantage of indies because they know they need the attention type thing.
Yeah.
And some of them still feel that way. But like I felt pretty confident with Donkey, and then they announced Animal Well, which I'm like, oh shit. Well, this thing's been on my radar for so long, which like I still need to go back and finish. I just got stuck at a point and just never really picked it back up. But
yeah.
Like knowing they published Animal Well, getting to play that at PAX for the first time, I'm like, oh, this is a banger. It's great.
Yeah.
And I was getting the emails for Star of Providence. I'm like, but where's the one that I can request a code? They're like, hey, it comes out next week. Comes out in 3 days. I'm like, but where's the one where I can request a code? I never got that one. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll pick it up at some point here. It passed me by with everything else that came out in March and now coming up on April here. I'm like, fuck, I just don't have the bandwidth. I got to use the ones that I'm getting codes for. I'm sitting on.
Yeah.
Dog, I think of my email yesterday. I had like 15 codes.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna get to play them all, but we're gonna try. But yeah, no, I like this is such a cool visual one. I like a lot.
Yeah.
And now hearing like the connections you're seeing, like the reference to the Isaac and everything. I think that's great with indies because there's this like unspoken like, hey, don't steal my shit, but like, yeah, you can reference my shit all the time. Go for it. I think those are great.
I think there's some dumb joke he makes in one of his videos where he's like, when you see that frog, the game is good, dog. And I'm like, yeah. so far, pretty good track record.
Yeah. And I don't know if they've announced another publishing deal yet. I know they're working on plenty, but I don't think they've announced anything, at least that I'm aware of.
The one thing I'm really glad with is that he like puts it out and he's like, hey, this is the next game that I'm working with, or like, this is the one I'm working on currently that's coming out next. Like, give it attention. and I'm going to give them as much time as they need to make it right. And Star of Providence, the fact that it took them like 13 years to develop this game, it shows, dude. That little, I don't know if you just saw, but that little like Frogger mini game, that's hacking. Every hack that you do in the game is a different mini game of a different game style. It's insane. Cool. There's a level, or there's like an item you can pick up in the game that like takes you to like a GBA style like version of the game where it's like a whole different, like you're in like a fantasy library and there's like a warden, and like you pick one of 3 rooms to start, and then the other options are locked, and then you travel down that pathway, get a key, go back, and then you fight the warden, and then you go to the next level. And like it's crazy the amount of shit that is in this game, because it is so much for such a like small screen, like such a like little like almost mobile window screen of a game. So cool.
This is dope. You're selling me on it more. Like I said, it was on the radar, like it's big mode, so at some point I'll give it attention. I'm like, oh right, fuck, do I drop the other 6? I don't know, I can't do it now, but I'm not sure it's wish listed though. There you go.
Yeah, dude, I think if I didn't have like 4 or 5 games I was playing right now, it would be getting so much more attention. It just came out right before Monster Hunter held my attention for like 2-3 days, and I'm like, oh man, but Monster Hunter's been on my mind for like 2 months. And then if not Monster Hunter, I just started Astrobot, and I think you were in here with me the one night. I was like, man, Astrobot's so fucking fun, because it is. Astrobot's great. And then I still have to finish Persona 3. I'm like right at the end, what happened is I was like sold in my mind. I was like, I'm gonna platinum it in one run. I have it on lock. I know I did not miss anything. I didn't mess up anything. And then I found out that I missed a social link that I could have gotten like 30-40 weeks ago in the game, and now I'm not going to be able to get all of the social links because I'm trying to rush too many at once. And I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna have to do a second run of Persona 3. So and like but like if you look at my trophies for Persona 3 and Persona 5, I think I'm like less than 5 for both of them, and I'm like, I just need to do it. I need to commit. I need to be like boom platinum, and just be done with it.
I'm stronger than I don't think I'll platinum a Persona game unless 6 somehow has like a hey, just beat the game. I'm like, all right, we did it.
If you give the game like 2 weeks, typically there's a guy who's like, here's the perfect run, you'll get a platinum on your first run.
Okay. Jesus.
And you can just follow it. And I did that with 5, and then I was like, man, I'm so tired of following this guy's blueprint, and then I got like off track. I was like, fuck, I messed it up.
I missed it. Oh, no.
And I started doing that with 3 too. I was like, I can figure it out. It's not that hard. They don't have all like the skill check mini games that 5 did that you have to complete to get a trophy. So you have to like Monster Hunter where you have to catch the big fish.
Yeah.
You have to do that. You have to do that in here in Persona 5, and you have to like catch the Guardian of the Reservoir or whatever it's called. You have to catch that, and then you have to like hit so many home runs, beat every video game in the game, which that's not a skill check. You just have to have the skills for it. But it's not a skill check, but you have to have the stats for it.
Correct.
Is what I should have said. But if those weren't like a blockade holding me back from Star of Providence, I would be dumping too much time into that game with the amount of time I put into like each Hades and like other like Rogue's Legacy and like all these other like short roguelike, like really small, fast replayability, heavy games. That game would be like all I talk about and play.
Because it's not indie, I'm going to use this time to be like, hey guys, Demon School should be coming out this year, and that's very Persona, and it's indie, so keep an eye on that one.
What is Demon School?
It's like an isometric type. Here, I got it right in front of me.
Show me.
So it is this isometric combat game where you're in school, you're doing, you got your friends, your social links and everything, but it's got more of like a tactics type gameplay.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, big Persona energy. It's pretty.
It's
sick.
it's like a little Chrono Trigger, a little Persona.
Yeah. It's like it's been a hot second. The game got delayed last year. I think this was like April last year, or maybe it was August last year. One of the 8 months.
Q1 this year.
Well, now it says Q2, so we're still we're indie games, guys. We know how that goes. So
damn it, release now. I need to play you.
But hopefully that's sometime between April and July here that you should play that one. So the Persona talk. Then because you just mentioned Hades, you should keep an eye on a Rainbreaker. Not to add another one to your list, but
what was it? Rainbreaker?
Rainbreaker, yeah. REIG.
Okay.
very Hades like,
Hey,
like steampunk. Yes. But oh yeah, any other thoughts on indies before we go back to Danny and Tofr?
Hey man, I could talk a whole bunch of ones that have been catching my attention recently, but I can't keep you guys held up. Let the boys talk about their games.
Anyway, exactly. Can I thank you for joining me, talking about Split Fiction
Of course.
and everything else
Thank
today?
you for having me.
Of course, man. Guys, be sure to check out Dwarven Lion. I'll have the links in the description for that one, so go check them out on Twitch. You want to plug anything coming up? Or
I do stuff on Sundays. I'm kind of in between deciding if I want to do some more Red Dead or not. I do have a Devil May Cry series coming up at some point this year. I want to celebrate that anime coming out. So I am planning on doing chronological order, so story order. They're a lot of fun. They're one of my favorite series of games, and I would love to have anybody who either hasn't experienced them or are big fans along for that ride. Feel free to stop out and join me, even if it's just for one episode, and just see what I'm about, and hopefully I make an impression.
There you go. There you have it. Thank you so much again. Let's go back to Danny and Tofr, because they're beautiful and stuff. Wow.
See ya.
And we're back, which means we've already started the What We've Been Playing section, which means Tofr, it's time to talk about what we've been playing.
Yeah, let me check my list. I played Wanderstop, and that's it.
Oh, bet. Fun game. You want to talk about Wanderstop? Or...
yeah, sure.
Okay. So Wanderstop, Ivy Road. Okay. No, I definitely focused a lot on Wanderstop this week. I did get a few other things since the last podcast. And I'll start with Call of Boba, if I can find my freaking clips. Here they are. I found them.
More making drinks.
More making drinks, baby. But as a penguin, I think you're a penguin? I don't know what kind of bird
I think so, yeah.
So Call of Boba, I originally got like hooked on it because it's like Moonlighter if you were a bird. Like you are in this city. You move back to your old town because you moved to the big city. It didn't quite work out for you. You're not quite ready to like share your shame with your family yet. So you end up finding an old friend. You move in together. He's like, hey, my grandpa used to run this shop. If you want to help me, let's do it. Like, cool, let's run it. So the way the game functions is you will, this is a terrible clip to use. I was AFK. Let's run to the next one. So you go to the shop. They introduce you like, hey, here's the recipe. You got to have customers come in. They order a drink. And then there's like 5 separate stations. You go to the fruit yogurt ball. I don't know what you call it. The part that has the sustenance of the drink. Then you go behind, you add the milk or, you know, the boba tea or whatever you want to add in there. And then you deliver it to the customer and move on. The game is super cute and should be everything that I want it to be. In this early access build, it's not great. It's got quite a few issues where I'm like, fuck, this really just like drug down the experience for me. A lot of it being, it just seemed like the menus and things to interact with just weren't functional. It's hard to show here. But like, if you see, like, it's behind Tofr's camera most of it, but you can still see it. The HUD of like buy, purchase, preview covers the other parts of the HUD. So like, if I'm looking at like, I want to buy these chairs that cost like 100 coins, like I can't see the price because the move and the preview buttons cover them. So like, I'm not sure how that got through like QA or anything. It's just, it's a weird thing that I thought like it might be a glitch for me, but I ended up pulling up the Steam reviews on stream and being like, no, everyone's dealing with this. It's such a weird, like, yikes. I should mention I did get a preview key. So important note. I didn't mention at the top, but yeah, I ended up going from there. The first time you open the shop outside of the tutorial part, a bunch of customers will come in to order something and then there's nowhere to sit. So they get mad and leave. Right beforehand, the game had introduced me to like the shopping mechanics so I could buy chairs and tables to upgrade the place. I'm like, cool, let me do that. But there was nothing to buy. The catalog was empty. So like my first day was a failure because I couldn't serve customers because I couldn't get the furniture to make them stay. And I think the reason this clip is so bland right now is because it is me telling this exact thing to chat where I'm like, yeah, right now it feels like the game isn't serviceable. I can't play it because everything that goes wrong is because the game won't allow it, you know, type deal. I want to love it. I want to be all about it. And I think I can be, but right now there's just a lack of polish that makes it very difficult to want to do it, right? Now, like, this is my third day where I was able to buy chairs. I was able to buy stuff. And the customers come in and they, you know, you get their tea right away. Awesome. They're happy. You get the money. Like, it went smooth sailing once I could do it. But it seemed like the game might have proctored events in the wrong order for me. Where, like, this was supposed to happen, but this happened first. And because this happened first, your thing didn't work out, so you couldn't do the thing you need to do. So I'm like, oh, I don't know what that's about. The quests I ended up finishing on were like, there's still more to the game. It's where I stopped playing. Your grandpa, your friend's grandpa's like, I have a locked door to the back, like here, and no one can get into it. But where would I have put the key? So you're like, oh, he used to have some friends back when he was younger. Like, let's go talk to the friends. You talk to the friends, or like, your grandpa used to leave teapots all over town that had hidden messages in them. So you're like, I remember we used to hang out at the library. So you go there, you find a teapot. It's just a note. Like, okay, but this note mentions another place. Let's go there. So you're running around town finding teapots that are like hints of grandpa's past. It was, I like narrative, but it was a little bit in the spot of like, I don't want narrative right now. I'm trying to do the shopkeeping tea stuff. I want my Moonlighter experience right now, where I get to go fuck up shit, come back and sell it, and then go fuck up shit again. And it was in that moment where I'm like, this is a little too much for me right now. I want to experience the game. But like, it was still really fun. It was enjoyable to get this fun little moment of exploring and seeing your friend and what his grandpa would have done, and collecting tea utensils and everything. Because then you unlock the lab, which lets you build new recipes, which I haven't fucked with yet. Literally, I unlocked it, and that's kind of where I stopped. But like, there's stuff here. There's gonna be cool things when it like functions properly. But yeah, this might be one of the streams I spent the most time stopping to be like, yeah, chat, here's the problem because this is happening, and like, it's not my fault. Like it's the game isn't functioning, and the other half of the game, right? Like I compare it to Moonlighter, and I don't think I captured any footage of it, but there is the, like, you go to bed and you dream. When you dream, it turns into the dungeon crawling, fight the enemies, and whatever items you pick up in there become resources that you take back to the shop to sell and make into tea. That part ran fine. I had no issues with it. It was a little easy, and it was early in the game, so maybe it's not a problem yet. But yeah, I definitely like enjoyed doing some of the combat. Unlike Moonlighter, where it is a run in and go room by room and progress. It is basically like, here's your one section of a Binding of Isaac level, where you have the map in the top, you go left, you can see which room you opened up and which ones are closed. So you can do that, but once you find the end, like, that's your night. There's not like, I want to keep going, get more materials and die, and I got what I got. It is basically just like, here's one level a night, go get stuff, and then go to shop in the morning. So I don't know if that expands any further down the road, but pretty rudimentary, pretty simple. Wasn't too much, but it was definitely enough where I sat here like, again, something here I could really enjoy, but not right now. There's just, there's a lack of polish that, again, and I really want to do that early access episode and talk about like the stigmas behind it and everything. But yeah, it's one of those, if someone's like, oh, this game's in early access, is it worth it? I'm like, not right now. Right now it's not, which sucks to say, but
yeah. Let's hope that the developer put more time in and fix everything that needs fixing.
I hope.
I like how I just pulled up this Steam page.
Okay.
And it says the developer is Tomatoast and Tomatoast.
Now listen,
for some reason, for some reason it mentions them twice.
Like in like the hold on.
In the box where the
like the dev would you fucking click on the game? Okay. Yeah, it sure does. Yeah. I was like, oh, maybe in like their description, right? Where they put nope, it's just like Tomatoast. Do they have some weird fucked up thing where like they happen to have like two like dev pages and like one has nope, they're the exact same thing. Weird.
This is weird.
I wonder who the publisher. Oh, Tomatoast. Interesting. Although I'm seeing it's sorry, my apologies. I just it was saying mostly positive. Here's the thing with the reviews though, and I think why the yay or nay for Steam reviews is a little hinky. Because like there's the negative reviews where people are like, here's what's wrong with it. You have the positive reviews like it's really cute, but here's the list of things that are wrong. And I think I'm like, that's not a thumbs up then. That's not a thumbs up. That's a thumbs down. So there's a lot of it's really cute, but here's the laundry list. And listen, I can't be mad that it's sitting at mostly positive. I don't care enough in my life to be like, that game should be mostly negative. But like, I think there's some reflection that some of these reviews should take before, you know, leaving the thumbs up.
Yeah.
Come see.
The Steam review system it is a bit wonky.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, speaking of, that's my thoughts on Call of Boba. But I also played some R.E.P.O this week.
Oh,
which
I want to hear about this one.
Let me tell you.
This game is taking off.
Yeah, dude. So anyone unfamiliar, R.E.P.O is like the next Lethal Company type game. Mm-hmm. You and your friends, you go into abandoned warehouses, buildings, whatever. You're trying to collect stuff for money, take it back and sell it, and then, you know, go and do it again. This one, there's something about the polish of it that's just really fun. And there's a cartoony goofiness to it because you all play as these like pill-shaped robots. It has the proximity chat at the end game, and everybody has the like LB played with us last night, and she mentioned like the South Park Canadian like mouth animations. That's exactly what everything is. From the icons when you're in the lobby to the actual gameplay characters, like everybody does it. There's also a text-to-speech option where you could just type and they'll read in this very like junk robot voice of like, you are stupid, like whatever you type, and it's great. It like for four ADHD driven knuckleheads who are playing, and I was just like, LB, I'm so sorry, this is what you get to deal with tonight. This was the vibe you stepped into. But yeah, you'll run in, and what makes it a little bit differently from Lethal Company is that rather than like, oh, I just pick up the thing and take it back out, like everything has a set price. But if you're being reckless and walking around and smacking into stuff, that price is going to drop. So like, oh, I have to be careful. So you want to bring the cart with you because if you put it in the cart, it's a lot more likely you're not going to be bumping into shit and breaking things. Mm-hmm. But like, there's a great clip where Connor walks up to Kanai. Kanai's holding like a vase. He's like, okay, Kanai, put that down very gently. So Kanai looks at the ground, basically places it like an inch above the ground and lets it go. And it like lands. Uh-huh. There's a beat of silence, and then it just shatters. Like it's so great. And what was even better is that I'm cackling like a hyena from this. I'm like, that was such a cartoony, like Tom and Jerry BS thing to happen. My cackling is echoing throughout this room, and there's an enemy you run into who is this like blind man with a shotgun, who's based on sound. So all I hear a shotgun, I'm like, what was that? I turn around and just get blasted in the face. I'm like, I'm dead. All right. Okay. So, it's just so much dumb chaos, right? Where like you run in, you scream at each other, you do the dumbness. LB had played a few times before us. So once she got in, she was like, okay, you guys are doing this, but if you do this, you'll get that. I'm like, oh, got it. Okay. I was messing up. I was doing this. If we did this instead, but then it also turned into a lot of like, you're chilling with friends just saying the dumbest shit possible. Like if you shrink to the smallest you can go, your friends can pick you up and start like throwing you around. So like LB did this thing. She's like, get small. And I was like, am I not small? She's like, smaller. I'm like, okay, I'm getting smaller. She picks me up and she starts like chucking me around, but then Connor throws something which knocks her down. It turns into like, Danny, why'd you hit? I'm like, listen, I was an absolute bottom in this entire situation. There's no way it was me. I did nothing. But like, no, it was great. It was awesome. Especially because like, I'm a pretty sociable guy, you know? But like, we have those separate friend groups. You have the college friends, the high school friends, the D&D friends, like, and they all like get mixed in different ways. So sometimes you're like, God, like, I wish there was a nice, simple way of converging these groups, right? And having LB be like, we should play R.E.P.O. I'm like, I'm playing with guys tonight if you want to hop in. And like, she just melded so well right away. The guys loved her. I love LB. She's great. She's, like after D plus Ultra, being a part of the Fallout campaign, like it was great to have her there also to guide us, but like just funny ass time. Like it's really great. R.E.P.O's super fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there any particular reason why this one seems to be popping off so much? Because like there's another game called The Headliners.
Yeah.
Which released, I think, a month prior to this one.
Okay. And
I've seen gameplay from that one, and it seems like a great time as well. But that one's just not getting any traction. While R.E.P.O is sitting at like over 30,000 reviews already.
Damn. I want to sit there and say it comes down to just which content creator grabbed it and said, check this out, baby, because this is funny. I think there is a simplicity to the design of it while also being like super familiar with Lethal Company, which you can say that for all of them, right?
Yeah.
But like, I think if you played Lethal Company, you could just pick this bad boy up and be like, cool, I get it. This has some funny, goofy ragdoll mechanics where you can like jump, dive, and you'll just like roll into a ball and do whatever. I think the text-to-speech thing is fun. I think the character designs are probably the most welcoming part. Here's the clip I was talking about. Can I puts the vase down and just shatters? But yeah, I haven't touched Headliners. It was one of the ones where I think Connor's typically the one who will bring us like, here's the new Lethal Company game if we want to check it out. I'm like, oh, that could be fun. And then it's just none of us ever put in the cart and pick it up. And like the plan this week was let's all go play R.E.P.O on Saturday. And then I didn't have Monday stream plans. LB was like, you should play R.E.P.O tonight. I'm like, fuck it, let's do that. So the plan is to play again on Saturday. It's going to be me, Connor, Kanai, me, Connor, Kanai, Chris, and our buddy Wes. LB was invited, but she's like, I'm going to GaryCon, so I guess I just have to feel all the fucking testosterone in this fucking lobby. But no, it's weird, right? And it's that weird thing with games of like, if you came out the wrong time, the right time, if you don't have the, I say marketing behind it, but sometimes not even like a marketing thing. It's just the Smitties, the Vanos Gaming, like somebody put out a clip that was super funny. 10 other people downloaded it and said, let's play this. And they made their own clips. And then it took off. And I think that's like, I haven't seen any Headliners content outside of like, oh, here's the game that exists. But I've seen so much R.E.P.O. So I think, I think it's a lot of people focus. Hey, content creators, what if you played our game? And I'm like, they want that chance. Like your clip is one that spurs the attraction for the game. And then everybody picks it up, which like sometimes there is and sometimes there's not. And I'm like, fuck. I would love to see all of these Lethal Company games succeed, but I think with how quiet Lethal Company's been as of late, and R.E.P.O being the new one, yeah, I think it got the traction that a lot of other ones wanted. It's just like, well, we got it. We're gonna run with it.
Yeah, I do get that the characters can be like an immediate draw-in.
Yeah,
they kind of remind me of like Bug Snacks as well for some reason.
Absolutely,
and that just that's that. It's something that you notice immediately when you go to the Steam page.
Yep.
While the Headliners doesn't look as funny when you just see the Steam trailer and the pictures.
Yeah.
Even though it has some absolutely brilliant moments as well. But yeah, I hope I can make it into one of your R.E.P.O games as well.
I love to. I
would love to.
Absolutely. We find another weekend to play. It's been like Marvel Rivals Saturday, but like, as if we're doing R.E.P.O Saturdays and stuff, I know this weekend didn't work out with plans, but like if next weekend's available, I can get everyone together again and play some more R.E.P.O. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a blast.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But yeah, R.E.P.O. I don't know how far the game goes right now. Someone said it was in early access, and I don't recall seeing that on the Steam page.
It is in early access.
Okay. Then I just looked past it. So I don't know what's on the roadmap of to come next or what else we're going to add to it. But yeah, overwhelmingly positive on Steam. 34,000 reviews. New stuff that was on the 14th. So that's a whole trailer. I got to watch that later. But we've made it through like 3 days, I guess. I didn't even mention this. So like a Lethal Company, right? If you die, you reset the day. You have like 3 days to accomplish everything. Yeah. This is more like if you fail a day, you lose. But the way it ends is you aim for King of the Losers, where they put you on a room. They're like, good luck, suckers. And they drop you into an arena, and everybody in the party has to fight to the death to see who's the king of the losers. Yeah, so because they'll give you rubber hammers, corked wine, which by complete accident I slammed on the ground and it like pops off and go flying at someone. I'm like, oh no! If I knew I'd aimed it instead of just throwing it. Like the one match I'm trying to kill Kanai, and I'm like, oh, I got this sucker. I'm grabbing things, smack. I'm seeing the damage numbers. Like, oh, you're so fucking dead, dude. He runs for me and somehow grabs a sledgehammer and just one shots me. I'm like, I should have won. That was mine. I should have won. And then my next match, I took like a clock or something and just like shoved it into LB's face and pushed her off the map. I'm like, I win. I'm the king of the losers. So like it's just it's fun, dude. Plus, like when your friends die, the way it'll work is their head lays on the ground, and you can't revive them right away. But there's extraction stations. If you finish the round and make the money that you need and bring their head back, they'll revive. I haven't done it yet. Either we've all died or we've revived everybody. I'm not sure if you don't bring the head back, if they just don't revive, or maybe they come back with less health, or I don't really know. But something to try out. But yeah, it's this is so much goofy. There's a lot of characters in it so far, like in terms of like enemies. There's little bomb dudes who will run around. There's a giant weird clown thing that has like a like an anglerfish light on its head that shoots lasers out of it, and you have to like duck because it's gonna be like there's so much shit. The blind shotgun guy. There's a floating head who is so attracted to noise. Like another clip we have is me and Kanai, like we watch Connor get eaten. So Kanai and I go and hide under like some tables. And we spend like 3 minutes going like, hey, idiot. So he comes back to me and Kanai's like, you stink. And he's like, you're fucking dumb. And he's just going back and forth trying to find where the noise is coming from. And it's the two of us. Eventually Kanai screws up and scares it. So he goes running from it. I'm like, all right, I'm the last one standing. I don't know if Kanai's going to live, but as far as I'm concerned, he's dead. So I just start walking away. Yeah. It's goofy. Just a great, just fucking loud Saturday goofiness. And yes, I would love to sit and play that one with you too. I want to get that together at some point. It's so much fun.
All right. Sounds cool.
Hell yeah. But yeah, that's all I've been playing so far. Maybe we'll play more this week. Who knows? Mental timestamp, Danny. Now let's talk about the indies releasing this week. This is March 20th through March 26th. We got quite a list for you guys, so buckle in. We have box number 341 coming out on March 20th for PC. We have Bloodborne coming out Mudborne coming out March 20th for PC. Cataclysmo coming out March 20th on PC in version 1.0. Urban Jungle coming out March 21st for PC. River Towns on March 24th for PC. Iron Village March 24th for PC. Kingdom of Cards on March 24th because it was postponed 11 days at the last minute. I did not see that, but I'll be dropping early access on the 24th. Super Puzzle Blasters on March 25th for PC. The Darkest Files on March 25th for PC. Bundle of Joy on March 25th for PC. That sounds like a goofy game about raising a baby, and I have to see what that one is. The Deadly Path on March 25th for PC. Mother Machine on March 26th for PC. Wednesdays on March 26th for PC. And Spilled on March 26th for PC. A lot of games. Any you're looking forward to?
I am absolutely looking forward to playing Spilled.
Yep.
I backed the game on Kickstarter. I played the demos. I love this game. It's such a simple and pretty short game apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, cleaning up the oceans has never been more fun.
Hell yeah, dude. What the fuck am I looking at? Oh no.
Are you looking at Bundle of Joy?
I am.
It's weird, right?
Yeah. What in the WarioWare am I looking at here? It's a touching and heartfelt. So you get a baby, you name here. Let me read the description while this trailer plays here. Bundle of Joy is a lighthearted, story-rich minigame romp about becoming a parent during the pandemic. Complete all your child's rearing tasks. Excuse me, I'm hiccuping. Manage your stress, find time to rest, survive the day, wake up and do it all over again. It won't be perfect, but that's okay. You're doing your best. So yeah, it's like this WarioWare game about raising babies. And it's the lighthearted story rich thing where I'm like, what's this about? What we got going on here? What is this game? This is an interesting one. We're gonna wish list that. We're gonna see what that one's about.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, that one's interesting. Cataclysmo is one of the Digital Sun games I have not tried yet. I had the demo down for so long. I never got to the early access. It just got away from me. And then they announced Moonlighter 2. I'm like, well, that's all I care about. But yeah, I need to play.
Listen, I heard a rumor that they're only allowing creators who played Cataclysmo to play Moonlighter 2.
Give me Cataclysmo.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Tofr said it. Digital Sun, I'm sorry. I know your PR guy, your marketing guy followed me on Blue Sky. I think I'm on the list. I'm in your post when you were like, oh, comments on our tweet about it. And I was in there. You blurred out my name, but I was in there. Trust me. I want to play Moonlighter. I'll play Cataclysmo if I have to. I want to. There's a lot of stuff to play. Tell me what I gotta do. But yeah, Cataclysmo I think just looks super dope, and I need to get my hands on it. But also Urban Jungle is one I found out about a couple weeks ago, and I think I sent you one of the key request forms. But it's like 3D unpacking, which is really cool, and I want to pull that one up because I think like this is one that when someone's like, I love unpacking, like you gotta check out Urban Jungle then. Let me see here. Because, yeah, this one looks super cute. I love the 3D rendering of everything. I think it's super stylistic. It reminds me a lot of, like Little Kitty Big City in like its visual style. But again, it's isometric puzzle game. And there's some things I don't quite, like I see like watering the plants. So I guess that's a whole extra mechanic, but you're unpacking your chairs and everything. I don't know if this will have the same like storytelling elements as unpacking, but like just the take everything out of the box and put it around is still everything I could ask for. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Maybe other than that, there's a bunch of games in there. So if there's anything you guys are looking forward to, be sure to go wishlist those and check them out on launch day.
Yes, please.
Whew. And as you're ready to wrap up here, round out the episode, let's take a moment to spotlight an underrated indie game. In this segment, we'll be highlighting an indie game that hasn't got enough attention or an upcoming one that we need to talk about. And I closed Steam, so let me vamp while I pull this back up because I wanted to mention Full Void. So this one is from Out of Bits. I got a review key, it might have been 2 years ago now, I lost track of time, but it is this 2D platformer that's about a kid in a world run by robots. And you're like, can't the robots find me? Are they going to get me? They're going to eat me. I don't want to die. I had a great time playing through it. I had played a Steam Next Fest demo, which was fairly short. And then I got to, it was like maybe 3.5 hour playthrough. It's not a very long game. It's got a point and click vibe to it. It doesn't have any point and click gameplay. It's not one of those, but like the thing of roaming around the room, like, what do I need to put? Oh, I need to push this block off the ledge and do that in a 2D platformer type of format. Visual style is incredible. I love how it looks. There was one section which was really funny for stream because if you're in a sewer and you're trying not to land in the water because I guess you can't swim, but there is a montage of me just whiffing jumps or like going around a corner and falling off a ledge into the water where it's just like, I mean, just like clip after clip of me drowning. I'm like, okay, I get it. I can't swim. That's enough. But I bring up Full Void because Out of Bits working on their next game, which this one screams, Danny. It's Nanaku's Secret of the Shattering Moon. And this one increases like the visual style and it looks so cool. Like the character designs, the world, the vibrancy. I'm like, now hold on, team. Full Void was not my vibe and I loved it. This one is my vibe and I think I'm going to love it more. This one's still being development. It's not being worked. It's being worked on. There's no release date or anything at the moment, but I think it's got more of like a yokai attention to this one. It looks super cool, and I'm like, oh, scary. Yeah, dude, but I'm ready for it. But yeah, so I'd say show some love to Full Void, and when you love that, be sure to go over here. Sorry, I thought I had it wish listed. I apologize. I follow him on Twitter. I think I thought I had it. Now it's wish listed, but yeah, Nanako sometime one day. But for now, you can play Full Void. This is a good one.
Amazing.
Yeah. But with that, that's the episode, Tofr. We're said and done. We're out of here, dude. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Let us know your thoughts on Wanderstop, Split Fiction, anything else we talked about today. I'll bring it up now because I mentioned it in the section with Kanai, which you obviously haven't heard yet, but he talks about Ropuka, I think is how it's pronounced, which is one of those idle games where you just pull up on your screen. Very Rusty's Retirement. But you're like a frog who just starts snipping grass and everything. It's really cute. And there was a bundle during the spring sale that has a bunch of those idle games in it. It's got Rusty, it's got Ropuka, Tiny Pastures. And I thought it might be a fun stream if I pulled up like 5 of these, put on like lo-fi music and just let it sit overnight. And I'm like, would this be a stream? Would this be a thing people will be into? We might have to try that at some point. Just like idle Sundays. Yeah, you know? I think it'd be a fun time. Yeah, so maybe something in the future, but I digress. Tofr, if little scrubbly bubblies in the audience wanted to find you, where would they go?
The easiest way for that would be through my link tree, which is Play Nice Kids in one word. And also, of course, I write reviews for so many games.co.uk. I haven't written any in the past few weeks, but I have a couple coming up pretty soon. And of course, I have some amazing colleagues who have written some pretty amazing reviews as well.
Yeah, your colleague who did Wanderstop is in that Discord call I was talking about, which I didn't realize who they were until I saw you repost. I'm like, oh, hey, okay. I see. Yeah. But yeah, so many games. They've been so nice to me on social media, comment on my shit. They tried to get me to shave the beard. I told them no. But and yes, of course, you wanted to find me. You can find me at CGDannyB all over the internet. We stream Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays on twitch.tv/CGDannyB. I don't know what I'm doing tonight for you guys on stream. I haven't figured it out yet, so we'll figure it out together probably. But then Saturday we're playing more R.E.P.O, so if you want to come hang out 1 to 4 Eastern, it'll be a good time. And with that, that's a wrap. Like, comment, subscribe. Go play Celeste for next week's episode of the podcast, and we'll see you later.